Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Gina, and let's talk about plants. So in today's video, I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do with you guys. I have been so distracted by so many things. Usually I plan my videos weeks in advance of what I'm going to do, but right now I'm just like, kind of like drawing a blank on what to do. So today is Wednesday and I need to water plants. I water plants on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I thought, well, why not just take you guys along with me as I water some plants? Yeah, maybe it'll be like a chill, relaxed kind of watering video, plant chore video. So part of the reason I've been distracted is because I know I mentioned in my last video that my husband and I were thinking about starting a thrifting video. Well, we are definitely going to be doing that. So part of that thrifting video is not just going to the thrift stores and buying things, but it's reselling those items. So a long time ago, many years ago, I used to resell on eBay. So I did that for the longest time and I guess I kind of got burned out on that. Mostly because, I don't know, sometimes you get bad buyers. If you're a reseller, you understand. But it was just like bringing me down. And so I decided to start selling crafts on Etsy. So I pivoted from eBay, reselling pre-owned or used, sometimes brand new merchandise on eBay, to creating my own things and selling them on Etsy. And that was great for a really long time. And then I kind of got burned out on Etsy, and plants, I don't know, well, you know, plants are a huge part of my life, my environment, so I decided just on a whim to start this YouTube channel. And now I have my plant shop, so plants have been a big focus. And by the way, when I said I got burned out on Etsy, it's not because there were any bad buyers. The buyers on Etsy are wonderful, wonderful people. No issues on Etsy. It was just me with the craft. I was doing macrame. I just kind of lost interest in it. I just did. You can only make so many macrame wall hangings and plant hangers, I guess, for me. So I started the YouTube channel and selling plants on my website, and that's where I'm at right now. So every week, my husband and I go thrift shopping. He's a reseller. He never stopped reselling on eBay. So we mostly go for him, and I go looking for mostly home decor, planters, clothing for myself. But now, since I'm getting back in the game, I'm looking for things to sell on eBay again. And I've started my shop. Actually, I never closed my shop on eBay because I was selling some anthropology merchandise on there. So it's always been running, but sales have been very few and far between. So I'm getting back into it. So that is why I'm just kind of distracted, where my focus is still on plants, still love plants, but it's also being divided between plants and reselling. So yeah. So anyway, but I just want to emphasize this, that do not worry that I'm going to be getting burned out on plants, because never will I get burned out on plants. I will always be here with this channel, but if you guys are into thrifting, you'll have another channel to watch. It'll be myself and my husband thrifting and our adventures together and how we do. I mean, how our sales go. And yeah, and hopefully we can teach maybe some of you what to look for, what to do to be successful. Hopefully I can get successful again with eBay, because right now sales are really slow for me, but I'm hoping the more I get in my shop, the better things will get. So yeah. Wow, that was a lot to get out there. Hopefully you guys are still with me. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, we are going to water the plants in this room. This is my dining room. On Wednesdays, I water the plants in my dining room. I know my moss pole in my Ikea cabinet really needs water. I can see, I'm sure it's very dry in there because, once again, which this is a pain in the butt, one of my weather stripping strips has fallen off, and you can probably see they're hanging here. So eventually they will start to stick and stay up there, but see, this one fell off down here. So I just keep pressing them on, and eventually, like these stick without any issue. I lost one over here. So with persistence, eventually they do start sticking and staying on their own. You just can't give up. Just keep pressing them back on there. This one up here doesn't fall off. It's just a couple of these are very stubborn and are taking forever to cure, I guess, and stick to the cabinet. Okay, so let me fill this. Yes, very dry. So my Philodendron brantianum is on this moss pole. This is the only moss pole I have in my collection, and it's super dry right now. So I need to do that. Water mostly the big plants in here, some of the small ones, but the majority of my watering is going to be everything in this room, plus, let me bring you over here, everything in this room, except not the Christmas tree, because that is fake. I do have a real Christmas tree though. This is the first year. Let me bring you over here. Sorry for the wobbliness here. Here's my real Christmas tree. And this thing just loves to suck up that water. That's it. And for Chris, I wanted to show you, I actually have more putz houses. You guys, in my last thrifting video, I told you guys about, or there was a putz house at the thrift store, and I mentioned that I have a few. Well, these are my original putz houses here. You know, they're made in Japan. So I forgot I had so many. I thought I only had a couple, but I have like that many. And then over here, these are my modern putz style houses on that side. And then over here. So yeah, I don't know. I'm getting distracted, I guess, here. So we need to start watering together. We are going to water, and yeah, I have to go get my watering can and we'll get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I need to switch out the battery in my little humidity gauge, temperature humidity gauge thing that is usually sitting in the cabinet here on the shelf, and the battery has run out, and I haven't known. Usually if I see the humidity is low, I know that my moss pole needs to be watered, I guess would be the term for that. So stick this in there. So these are nice. It just takes a AA battery. Love these. And it's pretty accurate, I think. Okay. So currently 42% humidity in the house. And it says 72 degrees on my thermostat on the wall. It says 75, so we'll see. I don't know how accurate it is, but so I'm going to set this back in here. All right, so I've got my watering can all set, ready to go. So this is just plain water. First thing I'm gonna do is to water the moss pole. And yeah, that's first. So it's just plain water. So everything today is just plain water, no fertilizer today. And in this room, no bug killer. So some of my plants, mostly my syngoniums, I put some pesticide stuff in the water, but none of the plants in this room currently have pest issues. So, but of course I will check to make sure, because you never know when something might pop up. But let me see if I can get you closer so you can see what's going on here. Look at this giant leaf. This is the Philodendron brantianum. I just love these giant leaves on this plant. So I'm just filling the water in at the top. Is my hand in the way? Yeah, filling it in. The water goes through that. And it does come down all the way into the pot. And I always worry I'm going to be, as you can see, there's quite a bit of water coming down in here. I always worry I'm going to overwater this plant, but it always seems to be just fine with it, so I've stopped worrying about it. So I may end up using a whole watering can on this. We'll see. Or at least half of a watering can. Yeah, that's good. That's pretty soaked all the way through, all the way down to the bottom. All right, so we've killed 2 birds with 1 stone. This moss pole is watered, and the plant subsequently has been watered because the water runs down the pole into the pot. So done. So the next thing we're going to water will be this philodendron, what is this one? Philodendron, drawing a blank. It'll be on the screen, I can't remember. But this one needs water, so we're just gonna fill that one up. And these get water every week. And then also my Piper crocatum gets watered every week. And this is a thirsty plant. Beautiful, beautiful plant, beautiful leaves, very thirsty. So yeah, and then let me see if these guys go up a little bit higher up. Over here we have some Hoyas, and that one does need water. I can feel just by touching the surface on that one. And this one as well. And I need to fill more water up. Okay, we're back in business. So a few of the Hoyas in here. So that's mostly, there's these bigger plants down here, and then the rest of these are pretty much all Hoyas. So some of them are potted in soil, like this Hoya Carmelite we just did, Hoya Hushkiliana Yellow we just did. And so there is a Hoya Serpens back here, which I think I'm gonna give that one a little bit of water. I don't think I watered it last week. So being in the cabinet, they don't always need to be watered every week. The cabinet holds that moisture and makes it possible to water every other week. So the rest of these are mostly, wait, this one down here is in water. Give that one a little bit, or in soil, not in water. The rest of these are in pond, and they're on a little bit of a different watering schedule. They usually, like every 2 weeks, I will refill their little pots, and I just did it last week, so we are not going to do those right now, today. So that's everything in the cabinet. Okay, so the next plant we're going to work on is this Philodendron silver sword. And pretty much over this way, if we pan over this way, all of these plants here, those are pretty much all philodendrons. There's like, well, there's one aglaonema mixed in there, but it's pretty much all philodendrons. So that's my order. I go cabinet, philodendrons, and then we do the Rhipsalis. And then we move that direction, that way, that way. Okay, so the first plant we're going to be watering outside of the cabinet is the Philodendron silver sword. And I'm using my moisture meter to see if this one needs to be watered. I rely on the moisture meter a lot, especially with like philodendrons. I just feel more comfortable knowing, let's see if we can, so you can see it's in the dry area, so I know this one needs to be watered. So like I said, or I don't know if I said, but I'm surprised more YouTubers, plant tubers don't use moisture meters when they're watering their plants. I rely on mine so much, and I couldn't imagine watering plants without having that. I just love my moisture meter. So let's water. Okay, so the next grouping of plants we're going to work on are my Rhipsalis here. And I actually don't use the moisture meter on these because these guys are all in terracotta. They all dry out really fast, like every week, once a week, they get watered, even through the winter. So we just water, easy watering here. My favorite plants to water because they're just so easy. Okay, so next up is mostly all the Hoyas. So these are mostly Hoyas. There are some succulents and some cactus here, but yeah, mostly Hoyas. So for the most part, these are all in terracotta. So I don't use the moisture meter on these. Now this one looks like it's in terracotta, but it's actually in a plastic nursery pot sitting in the terracotta. So this one I use the moisture meter on just to be safe. This is the Hoya caudata Sumatra. I've had that one root rot on me before, so I am extra careful with that one. So I am going to see now, just feeling it, the surface, I'm gonna say it does need water, but let's see what the moisture meter says. So yeah, moisture meter showing it's pretty dry. That's beautiful leaf, gorgeous plant. So it will be watered. I think last week I didn't water this one. So this one might be on, the ones in like a plastic nursery pot might be on an every 2-week watering schedule now that winter is here. This is a string of pearls, variegated, that was so generously sent to me by one of you guys. Thank you. Love it. Beautiful variegated string of pearls. And then my variegated bear paw does get watered every week. Oops. Booby cactus. I usually give it some water every week, a little bit. And then this is Hoya Croniana Black. Gets water every week. And these guys here. And I am almost out of water again. It's a lot of back and forth to the sink. You guys want to go to the sink with me? Let me show you where I fill up. All right, going to the sink. Before we get to the sink, you guys want to see Nora? There's Nora. There's our girl snoozing on the couch. Let's see. Oh, look. There's a squirrel. I haven't filled up the feeders yet today, but he must have some in that feeder still. Usually he'll sit on the feeder and just stare at me. All right, to the kitchen, to the sink. So I try to get it like kind of lukewarm, I guess. Not cold. You don't want cold water. You definitely don't want hot water. You want it just right. Back to watering plants. All right, so all of the ones on the table are done. So now we're gonna do these hanging ones, and then I need to check this Hoya Crimson Queen, which I think I watered it last week, so it shouldn't Maybe I didn't water it last week. Okay, well, it's on empty. It's on number 1 in the dry section, so I would say it definitely needs water. I thought I did it last week, but it's either I'm remembering incorrectly or it has drank a lot of water this week. All right, next, I keep smelling my mums. Aren't these, I can't believe how fresh these are staying. This was my centerpiece for Thanksgiving. They're just they smell good. What's this one? Is that a mum? Chrysanthemum? That doesn't sound right. Maybe it is. I know these are mums. Anyways, so pretty. Okay, getting distracted. Oops. Knocking stuff over off camera. Okay, so now I'm gonna use my moisture meter on the Christmas cactus. This one has been needing water every week. So pretty. And by the way, I did decide to hang it here in the spot where my Hoya pubicalis was. I removed that because it was like getting too much sun, and I put the Christmas cactus in its place, and it's doing really well there. So pretty. It has lost a lot of its blooms, but it has some new buds coming out, so we will be getting more blooms there. Okay, so all of the cactus back here, cactus and succulents back here on the windowsill, I watered them last week, so I'm not even going to check them. I'm not going to be watering them this week. It will be next week. So we're done with that. So now we're going to water these. If they need it, well, this will need it for sure, lipstick plants. This one usually goes every other week. This one goes every week because it's in terracotta, and this one is not. So I just need to check and see if they need it. And this one does not need it, and I know this one does. Yeah, it always does. It is a thirsty plant. All right, so there's just 3 plants left to water in this room. We have Hoya pubicalis that was over in the window. We just talked about it. This one I will check. I didn't water it last week. Now that I've moved it away from the window, not as bright of light as it was, it's not as thirsty. So I think I watered this one last week. Let me check. It probably doesn't need it, but we will check and see. It is such a full plant, it's hard to get in there. So yeah, so on the moisture meter, it is, I will show you, it is registering like right, still in the red, still in the dry, but almost at the moist. It was like right in between the green and the red. So I'm going to wait. I am not going to water this one. Let me just double check. No. Now I'm second guessing myself here. Actually, you know what? I think I am going to water it because over here it came up as like very dry. Yeah, I'm gonna water it just to be safe. And then we have this Philodendron variegated heartleaf, which seems to need watering every week, even though it's in a ceramic pot. It still goes through a lot of water. And then finally, down here, my little Monstera Thai constellation. This one is, I feel, it's a little more tricky. I'm afraid to let it dry out, but I'm also afraid to overwater it. So, I mean, it says it's in the dry area. So yeah, I am going to give it water. Just because it's on the moisture meter, it's saying dry. And it's in a very chunky mix with good drainage, so it should be just fine. Even if it could go a little bit longer. Plus it's in terracotta. Terracotta pot plus very chunky mix. So yeah, this room's done. We got everything in this room. All right, so on Wednesdays, like I said, I water the dining room and I water the living room. And so this is the next room we're gonna work on, but I am going thrifting with my husband. So this is gonna have to wait till later this afternoon. Hopefully it shouldn't be too late. And I will water the rest of these plants with you guys. Right away I can see this one probably needs water because it's Scindapsus silvery Ann. It has curling leaves. Oh, and you know what? I gotta do this now. See my peace lily? My droopy girl here. Let's give her some water now. I'm not gonna make her wait until I get back. She'll be all perky when we get back. It's amazing how quick these guys will just get wilted. Love that plant. Okay, so I'm gonna go thrifting, and when I get back, we'll do some more watering, which will be like that for you guys. Ready? Well, that was fast. Not really. It's like 3 hours later, I think. Well, you can tell it's quite a bit darker now. It's like 4 o'clock. I think the last time I filmed, when I stopped, it was like 12:30. So yeah, we're back from thrifting. All right, so I am pooped. Thrifting is a lot of work. It really is, going through all those racks and looking for all those treasures. Okay, so we're gonna start. I'm gonna just try not to rush through this, but I'm tired. Okay, so we're gonna start here on these shelves. So I need to check. A lot of the times I use my moisture meter on my Scindapsus here on these shelves because it's just easier for me. It's not so easy to get my fingers in there to see. Like offhand here, I feel like this one for sure needs watered, and that one. So I think a lot of these do need water this week. They tend to be every other week for Scindapsus, but I don't think I watered them last week, so pretty sure they're gonna need it today. So yeah, the Scindapsus Jade Satin needs watered. So does the Argyrius. And Silver Lady could use water. And I can see this guy is wrinkled. So I'm gonna do this one first. You can see how the leaves are curled. Definitely in need of water for this one. Okay, so this is my Maranta, my variegated Maranta, and this one needs water, but I need to get distilled water for this one because it has these crispy edges, and I'm trying to, this one just gives me the worst trouble. This is probably my problem child plant, I would say, in my collection. Just get rid of this because it's my problem child. We all have a problem child, right? This is mine. So, but I'm going to get distilled water for this one, just to hopefully like maybe try and help this one, see if that makes a difference with the crispiness. All right, so the last plant that needs water is the Dracaena here, and I already tested it with my water meter, and it needs water. So this is it. So this is my Wednesday watering routine. Sometimes it is broken up, as this one was, with thrifting in between. I try to get most everything done in the mornings, or before noon, just because now that it gets dark so early, I don't prefer watering right before it gets dark. I prefer to water early so the plants have all day to drink up that water and not be sitting in water overnight. So I hope you guys enjoyed this watering with me day, this type of video. You know, I do this every week, so I don't know if this is something you would be interested in following along with more frequently, maybe. It's such an easy type of video to do, which is, I like easy. I do like easy. So anyway, you know what? While we were in between, I just got a delivery from the US UPS man. And this is one of my things I ordered for Black Friday. So I don't know, are you interested in seeing one of the things? I'm not sure which one this is. I have a feeling it's that decorative locket, I think. Well, let's see. What is it? It is. It's the locket. Looks like it has to be put together. This is interesting. So this was it's just like something to sit on the shelf. And let's see here. I wasn't expecting that it would have to be put together, but we can do that together. Oh, and Nikki's here. He hears delivery trucks, so he's going to be checking things out. Wow, it's a lot. It's bigger. Well, I knew it was going to be big, but it's even bigger than I thought it would be. Cool. It's very cold because it's metal. Do the wings move? No, they're stationary. Well, this is interesting. So that's it. It's kind of pretty, right? It's going to sit on my shelf with my African violets, and it opens up. See how it... Sorry, my lighting is terrible. It's that time of day where it's just so dark. Well, I don't know what time it is even now, 4:30 maybe? And yeah, that's it. I'll show it to you what it looks like on my shelf. So yeah. All right, you guys. That is going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, let me know. If you enjoy this type of video, definitely let me know. And don't forget to hit the like button. And if you want to chat with me, leave a comment. I will chat with you every single time. So yeah, I hope you guys have a fantastic week coming up. And hope to see you in the next video. Bye.